Active Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
A lot going on today. Twitter's a buzz. I was just having conversations with two different listeners, talking to one about tires on his Subaru, and the other wanted to know what is the Trader Joe's Corona-like beer.
Have you had it?
Of course. I think he saw me drinking it on the late night happy hour.
Okay.
So, yes. The very fine Trader Jose's.
That's what it's called?
Yes.
That's tremendous.
Are we okay? Is Trader Joe's in trouble now?
That is
Some
little
sort of
bit
appropriation.
That's a little bit appropriate.
Should it just be Trader Fred's?
I mean, I think
Mexican beer.
I feel like it's funny enough.
Yeah.
To just be like, okay, you can get away with it. Trader Jose's.
Got to be very careful. Got to watch what T-shirt you're wearing. Timing is very key. Did you see over the weekend that Drew Brees' wife said, you know what, we're the problem.
Yes.
When it comes to the racial issues, we're the problem.
I feel like we're trying too hard now.
You think she went overboard?
Yes. I feel
Her Instagram message actually started out that way. We are the problem.
Yeah.
I write this with tears in my eyes and on and on. So, Brittany Breeze. We are sorry, but we are the problem.
I mean,
I have no idea if she is. I don't know how she's lived her life. I don't know. I do know this. I would be really comfortable with Dabo Sweeney coming out soon and going, you know what? I am the problem.
Dabo is the problem.
He's the Clemson coach.
Yeah.
So, one, this guy's already gone on record. He's anti-peaceful protest. He is anti the players getting a cut. He's threatened to walk away from his $9 million a year job if the players get a cut.
Right.
So we sort of know where this guy stands. He had stories come out last week where one of his assistant coaches was dropping an N-bomb or two out of practice a few years ago. He came up with some cockamamie excuse, and really nothing's happened to him.
No.
He's not gone.
No.
And now what we're seeing is a crazy amount of stories of coaches, head coaches having to deal with assistant coaches who have used racial slurs around players in the past. Utah's defensive coordinator, Morgan Scalley, I don't know what they're going to do with him.
He's in trouble.
He had a text from 2013
Right.
come to light.
He thought he was texting other assistant coaches and boosters.
Okay.
And accidentally actually sent the text to a recruit, which I have no idea how this has not come out earlier. I have no idea why a recruit chose to not put it out.
Especially once he was named, he was looking at him, and then Utah's like, no, you can't touch him. He's our coach in waiting.
Thank goodness for UNLV.
Well, he was then. I don't know if he is now.
Yeah. Pretty fortunate for UNLV dodging that bullet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how he keeps his job. That's going to be tough in this climate. That's a rough one. It's a bad one. And then Iowa, where
Before we get to Iowa,
yeah,
let me just finish on Dabo. So Dabo had a former Clemson receiver, Canyon Tuttle, tell the story about an assistant coach. And then the assistant coach's excuse was, I repeated a racial slur I overheard when trying to stop the word from being used on the practice field. So players are dropping N-bombs, and he's like, stop saying that. Do we believe that?
not really. I mean, I don't know why players would have got mad.
There's also another story that came out, and it really hasn't been verified, but a former player said that there was a time in the locker room back in, I think it was like 2016, where there was some hip-hop being played, and Dabo walked in and said, get the stuff off. I got someone coming through the locker room. I don't want, and this and that coming over the speakers. You'd actually defend him on that, right? All he's doing is repeating a song.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean,
what if he walked in and started singing along, rapping along?
I'm fine with that.
I have to defend him, right? That's your stance.
I know people that aren't okay with it, but yeah,
that's your stance.
I've always been fine with that. To me, it's context everything. But even what Dabo said, if that's what he said, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Like, if players were upset, they're upset, and you have to address that and you have to deal with that. But like, to me, it's context. Context is everything.
It's not
And it's how
100%
you use
official either. One player told the story. One former player told the story. Another former player who was playing the music said, I didn't hear him say that.
Right. Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean he didn't say it. Maybe he didn't hear him. I don't know.
But again, I think that's different. All context is everything in all situations, in all cases. So like that to me, and again, I'm not the one that gets to judge, but I've always been of the opinion that there's different circumstances for every single situation. They're not all created the same. That's not the same as, treating a player awfully on the field and calling him that.
Right. Which apparently at Iowa, I mean, how do you deny this? Unless this is a coach that just everyone hates. Their strength and conditioning coach, it came out late in the week, last week, that he's dropping racial slurs. 40 players have reported that this guy was abusive, used slurs, made the experience at Iowa miserable. Kirk Ferentz responded by going, I had no idea this was happening. Which, again, how do you make this much money? How do these guys always do this? Or so many of them do it. You pull the Patino. What? I don't know what's going on. Oh, I mean, there's so many players on the team and so many coaches. You're the boss. When you go in to negotiate your salary, you're like, I really can only keep track of just a couple of areas of the team. Maybe you should pay the assistants a lot more money because they're the ones who really police the whole thing. I'm just at the top of the chain, but I don't know what the hell's going on.
How are that many players upset about it and not one has ever said anything?
That's amazing.
It doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up.
The other amazing thing is, because I saw one of the running backs, Wadley, his mom came out real strong. He's actually a New Jersey guy, right? The other thing that amazes me is Iowa has no football players in state.
Right.
Why do kids go to Iowa?
I don't know.
I've never understood it in the first place. I certainly don't understand it when there's coaches on the staff like this.
It's baffling.
What a job. Well, I was going to pat the players on the back for keeping it quiet because they love Iowa football, right? But they bring kids in. They're the guys who are hosting the visits.
Yeah, that's the one.
Stuff never gets mentioned. Like in a way, you're doing everyone a disservice by not bringing it to light. But here's the thing. I think kids are so programmed. It's the programming of football that has them, stay in line. And the other part of it is just the experience of growing up and just expecting. Like, how sad is that you just expect people to speak to you like that or say things like that around you? And you're just conditioned to it. And by the time you're 18, you're like, it's no big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
You can't have some boorish jackass. I'm amazed at how with too many parents, how little they know about the program they're sending their kid to.
And I think the point that you made was the one I was going to make about when you're getting recruited and a kid comes in and you've got kids hosting them as, on their recruiting visit, and they're not saying like, hey, by the way, if you come here, like, just look out because this guy, unless they're just trying to protect the program and trying to get better players there. And, they want players to come in. I mean, I guess it would make sense in that regard that you wouldn't tell guys because you want them to come there, but it seems like it's so widespread. It seems impossible that the higher ups in the program wouldn't have known about it.
And that's why in most of these cases, it's former players. They feel, they're not under that umbrella. They're not being brainwashed that it's, Clemson football, Iowa football, they're not in that, hey, we're all one.
Right.
By the way, on Dabo, did you see the T-shirt he was photographed with? Now, here's the thing.
Oh, I saw.
We don't know when the picture was taken.
Right.
He's got a T-shirt that says "Football Matters." Now, it's actually a phrase that I think he uttered back in 2016, and I guess they made T-shirts out of it. The guy who posted the picture, we should be able to find out the timing of it soon.
Yeah.
Why is the timing important? By the way, the guy who posted the picture deleted all of his social media accounts.
Yeah, because people noticed right away.
Which is so weird.
So the guy posted the photo of meeting Dabo while Dabo was wearing that shirt. He said it was that day, which was Saturday.
He did say it was that day.
Well, he posted, hey, met Dabo at the pool today.
Did he say today?
I thought that's what the tweet said.
Because there seems to be confusion on if exactly when it was.
So, but he was not pointing out the shirt. No. He was just pointing out, hey, we met Dabo. He was very cool. This is nice. And then immediately the reaction was, what on earth is that shirt he's wearing? That's why the guy freaked out and deleted his account.
Right.
He didn't want people finding this anymore.
Why would people be mad about a T-shirt that says "Football Matters"?
Well, in this era, in this era now that we're going through of Black Lives Matter and the protests and everything else that's happening, to say "Football Matters" is just an obnoxious. It's a very, very tone deaf thing to say right now.
And you're right. The Instagram picture or tweet says, "I met Dabo today," and he tweeted it over the weekend. So what confusion would there be then?
Well, just because
Could
the guy
it be an
said
old
he met
picture?
him, it could have been an old picture, and the guy said it was today, just to
He's trying to stick it to him.
Or not even that.
Actually, his Twitter handle is OU Sooner 2010.
Oh boy,
could be an Oklahoma fan trying to get him.
Right. So you don't know when it was posted.
Do you believe Dabo Swinney would throw on a Football Matters T-shirt and be like, "I know what I'm doing"?
Yes.
Of course. Yes.
Of course I do.
Yes.
100%.
Is he the kind of guy who'd be rankled by the Black Lives Matter and an All Lives Matter guy and a Football Matters guy?
No.
I'm saying he is that kind of guy. Yes.
No. Oh yeah, he would.
Like he would.
But he wouldn't be like, I need to be more concerned with what's going on in the world right now. He wouldn't be that kind of guy. He would just be like, I'm going to wear the shirt that I want to wear. I'm going to throw this on. Football is what matters. Like, okay,
is this
Dabo.
ridiculous? Is being aware of what T-shirts you have on, is that ridiculous? Time and place? Do you have any T-shirts where you're like, maybe I shouldn't wear this one?
I don't think so.
Because I do. The Boston bombing, the marathon, I have several Boston Sucks T-shirts. I was like, you know what? I think I'll tone it down for a couple of weeks. Might be misconstrued. It's probably easier to just not wear the T-shirt than try to dig myself out of Boston Sucks, because there'd be people who are like, "Oh, making fun of it, huh?" No, it's actually a Red Sox T-shirt that's freaking 15 years old.
Right.
You can see my love handles draping over the edge here. It's clearly a medium.
But
there are certain times where maybe the joke doesn't apply here.
Right. But again, everything is context. And I think people wouldn't think that you would be wearing that shirt because of that reason. People do think Dabo's wearing that shirt because he's against the protest and because he's against all this stuff. So that context does matter and everything. And your heart and how you've acted before and what is your public statements on the record before, those things all matter and they're all relevant to the conversation.
Do you think kids are going to pay more attention to who they go play for and where they go play moving forward? Or is this just kind of a blip?
It's a blip.
Which is sad. I saw a really interesting story at the end of last week. A kid named Mikey Williams, who's one of the top 15-year-old basketball prospects in the country, tweeted out, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go to an HBCU. That's top 10 player in the country.
Yeah. San Diego kid, right?
No, I think he's, let me check.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Mikey Williams.
Yeah. But it's
he said going to an HBCU wouldn't be too bad.
But again, he's a couple years away from making a decision.
Yeah. He said if you're a pro, then you're a pro. Doesn't matter what college you go to. I am riding for my people. I'm 10 toes behind the black community. Any way I can help or make a change in the black community, best believe I am going to do that. How incredible would it be if, I don't know, 5 of the top 25 players in the country were like, you know what? Let's all go together. Let's all go to, Howard, Norfolk State, Florida A&M. Let's all go as a group. Let's be a Fab Five.
Yeah, it would make a statement. I don't see it happening.
Don't see it happening.
And it's different from a kid that I think is a sophomore than a kid that's a senior, who has a little bit of time before he makes that decision.
Who knows by then? Might not have to make the decision.
Yeah.
The pros, the NBA might be the option.
Exactly.
And certainly G League looks like it's quickly becoming an option if there's money behind it to sign guys straight out of high school.
No question.
On the way back, UFC went down this weekend. It was actually a solid fight card. You guys all ripped on it, but it turned out to be pretty entertaining. But again, the post-fight was where the explosions happened as Dana White was very on edge.
Join the conversation on Twitter at ESPN Las Vegas.
This traffic report is brought to you by Finley Chevrolet on the 215 Beltway.
Still slow and go from that earlier accident, 215 westbound at Green Valley Parkway. Also on the surface streets, accident, MLK and Bonanza, and Gomer Road and South Durango Drive.
This traffic report is brought to you by Finley Chevrolet on the 215 Beltway.
It's time to get out with the old and in with the woo! At Finley Chevrolet, we're receiving dozens of new 2020 Chevys daily, and we have huge incentives on the remaining 2019s in stock. Finley Chevrolet at the 215 in South Rainbow, Nevada's #1 Chevrolet volume dealer. Find new roads.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PC Laptops. Friends, I know a lot of you guys and girls are working from home. So here's some tips for making sure your computer is ready for working at home, because if your computer fails, it's going to be really hard to get it fixed because of dwindling supply and parts. But we have parts right now, and we have a limited supply of new computers available for you. Make sure your computer is healthy and virus and malware free. Hackers are trying to infect people and stealing their information during these challenging times. We'll scan the health of your computer for viruses and malware, plus scan your hard drive, memory, and components to make sure you don't have any failing parts. You want to make sure you